Hi, my name is Aubrey Wood and I'll be leading you through your warm-up today. So just to start with, we're going to start with some high knees. So we're just going to walk in place for a second, kind of get our blood moving, just get some movement in our body. We're going to do this for about 15 more seconds. If you want to make it a little more intense, you can feel free to speed it up some more. You don't have to, we can just keep it nice and slow. 5 more seconds and we're going to go into some stretching. 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to do some lateral neck extensions just to kind of loosen up our body. So we're going to tilt our head one way for about 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now we're going to tilt it the other way. About 10 more seconds on this side just to kind of get everything loosened up after a long day. All right, in 3, 2, 1. We're going to head into some arm circles now. We'll do this for about 30 seconds going forwards. And then we're going to rotate and go back the other way. These are really good for helping warm up our shoulders, our triceps, our biceps. It works with our back really well. If you want to add some steps in place just to keep moving, you can. I know it's kind of hard for balancing, but it's always good to work on. About 5 more seconds. We're going to switch sides. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to rotate back now. Really make sure we're engaging all of our muscles together. Just kind of getting everything warmed up, and we're using all of our upper body for this. Great job so far. 15 seconds left to go. 10 more seconds, making sure we're still breathing, we're standing up straight. I know it burns a little bit, but it's really good. Feeling those muscles warm up. In about 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to do some chest expansion. So we'll start with our hands in front of us. Bring our arms all the way back and then all the way forwards. We'll do this for about 20 more seconds. We just want to make sure we're opening up our chest, getting some air in there. We can try pinching our shoulders together to help warm up our upper back. All right, and 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so now we're going to stretch our obliques. Those are the abdominal muscles on the side. So we're going to lean. You can bring your arm up. I like to put one arm on my hip just to kind of stabilize a little bit. It gets kind of uncomfortable sometimes. About 10 more seconds here. Really make sure we're leaning so we can feel the stretch all along the side. 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Now we're going to lean the other direction. Same thing. Really making sure we feel the stretch here. You can put your hand on your hips again, or you can do both sides over if you want. All right, and we have about 15 more seconds here. We're still wanting to breathe through this. Make sure our back is nice and straight. Bending at our hips, making sure we bend a little in our knees so we don't pass out. 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. So we're going to move into some Warrior 1 pose from here. So for this, you'll bring one leg out and then making sure we're keeping our front leg flat on the ground and our back leg off the ground a little bit. So we're going to reach up with our hands. We don't want to overshoot our knee. And we're breathing through. Your weight should be in the back of your heel so that you can feel a nice stretch in your hip flexors. And we want to reach all the way up so that we're really opening up our chest. All right, and we have about 5 more seconds here, and we'll switch sides again. Great job so far. 3, 2, and switch. So same thing on this side, except in just the opposite way. It's a bit of a balance exercise, which is really good. If it feels like you're wobbling everywhere, you can put your hands in the center, or we can keep them up. And we're just breathing nice and deep through this, getting some blood flow to all of our muscles. We can still feel a lot of the stretching happening. And we have about 10 more seconds. You're doing awesome so far. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to come into Warrior 2 now. So your back foot should be facing straight out, and then your bent leg should be facing in the straight direction. And you'll put your arms in front of you, making sure your pelvis is straight and you're looking straight ahead. This is also a really good stretch and a really good balance exercise. So we want to look straight over our hands, and we have about 15 seconds to go. Still breathing through this, making sure our knee isn't overshooting our toes. All right, and 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're gonna switch. So now our opposite leg will be bent, and the one that was facing straight forwards will be facing in front. Once again, making sure we're not overshooting our toes. We want our hips pivoted forward and our arms straight up. We have about 15 seconds to go. And then we're going to move into some bicep curls and tricep work. You guys are doing awesome so far. Making sure we're still breathing through it. All right, in 3, 2, and 1. All right, so for our bicep curls, we want to just be standing straight with a little bend in our knees, and we'll take our imaginary dumbbells and we'll bring them up at the elbow, making sure our elbow's stationary. If you want to do this with like a really light weight, you totally can, or we could just do body weight. We'll do this for about 20 more seconds. Really making sure we're giving our biceps a squeeze when we get to the top, and of course making sure that we're breathing through the whole thing. All right, and 15 or 7 more seconds. All right, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so next thing we're going to do are tricep extensions, but we're going to be bent over. So you'll want to bend at the hips and then making sure your back is nice and straight. So you'll take your arms and then go back, making sure we squeeze our triceps at the same time. Again, you can do these with a little weight or none at all, but we want to make sure that we're breathing and that our back is straight through the whole thing for a good posture. All right, we have about 15 seconds left of these. Make sure you're contracting your muscles. You guys look awesome so far. I'm really impressed. And about 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so the next thing we're going to move into is some shoulder and ab work. So we're going to want to get into a plank position. You can do it on your hands or you can do it on your elbows. I'm going to do my hands, and then we're going to bring our knee up and across. So these are crossover mountain climbers, and they're really great for your oblique muscles. They're really good for your shoulders. We want to make sure we're breathing through, nice and deliberate with our movements. We have about 10 more seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to come into a downward dog. So we can feel some blood rushing through our shoulders. And we can kind of lean back, stretch out our back, our shoulders. And then with your feet, you can pedal them down, stretching out your calves as well. We're going to hold this for about 15 more seconds. You guys are doing awesome. We're just focusing on our breathing right now, getting some good stretching in. All right, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to come down to our knees. And from here, we're going to go into some push-ups for about 20 seconds. So you can do push-ups either with your feet out and go down, or you can do them on your knees. I'm going to do them on my knees today. So we're going to go down, making sure our triceps are tucked into our body. Go down again. And we're going to do 4 more. 1, 2, making sure our backs are nice and straight. We're squeezing with our core. 3, and 1 more. And 4. All right. That was awesome. That's most of the hard upper body. So from here, we're going to go into some crescent lunges. We're going to stretch out our hip flexors some more. So you'll take your, whichever leg you want. I'll start with my right. Bring it forward. And then with your back leg still on the ground, you'll lean into it a little bit. This is also a really good balance exercise. So if it's feeling a little wobbly, a little unsure, you can put your arms down on the ground to kind of hold you in place, or you can hold them at your chest for a little more balance, or you can even bring them all the way up. We're going to hold this for about 10 more seconds, really feeling that stretch in your hip flexors and your hamstrings and even in your glutes a little bit. All right, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and switch sides. Great job so far. Still really getting that good stretch in. We're still warming up our muscles. We want to be nice and loose for whatever workout you have coming. All right, and we have about 15 more seconds. Still doing really great, you guys. Remember, we can put our arms up if we want. We can bring our arms down just to be comfy. All right, and about 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So now we're going to come into our tabletop position. So that'll look like this. And we're going to do some cat-cows. So for cow, you go down and you'll breathe out. And then for cat, you'll breathe in and go up. So go down and breathe out. And then breathe in and go up and down. We have about 15 more seconds of these. Up and down. These are really good for your core. They're really good for your rectus spinae. They have a lot of good purposes. All right, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. So from here, we are going to go into some abductor and adductor work. So we'll start with lateral leg raises. So we'll lay on our side with our knees stacked on top of each other. And then we're going to raise one leg up. And then really nice and slow, we're going to let it down. We don't want to drop it. Up and down. All right, we're going to do about 15 more seconds. Nice and slow. You can totally feel free to stretch up farther if you can. These are really great for all of these muscles. All right, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to switch sides now. Great job so far. Making sure our knees are stacked. We go up and back down. We have about 20 seconds. You guys look great so far. Still being nice and deliberate with our movements. We can point our toes forward. I know it burns a little bit. I feel it too, but that just means it's working. All right, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to stay in this position, and we're going to do some clam shells next. So we'll have our knees stacked on top of each other, but bent. We're going to open them up, and then lower them back down, and up. If you're looking for like a workout exercise, you can always do these with resistance bands. Later on, they're really great for your hips. All right, in about 10 more seconds, and we're going to switch to the other side. Making sure we're still breathing through these. I know sometimes it's hard to remember to keep breathing, but this is a really good time to just check back in. All right, and let's switch sides. Okay. All right, we have about 20 more seconds. Looking great still. We just want to be nice and slow and deliberate with our movements. You guys are doing awesome so far. All right, in about 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So now we're going to move into some glute bridges. So we'll lay down. We can put our hands on our chest for this, or on our stomach. And we're going to raise our glutes up to the top and squeeze and lower them back down. We want to make sure that we're engaging our core. And these are really helpful for your rectus abdominis, your transverse abdominis, your glutes, your hamstrings. They work a whole bunch of things. All right, we're going to do about 10 more seconds of these. You guys look awesome. Still making sure we're moving with a purpose. Keeping our heart rates high. Then after this, we're going to stand back up and finish our warm-up. All right, and 3, 2, 1, and we're done. All right, so to finish up, we're going to finish standing. So we'll start with some squats. We're going to do about 30 more seconds just to kind of get our blood moving in before we start. So we'll put our feet shoulder width apart and then we'll squat back. We want to make sure that our backs are straight and our shoulders or our chest is up. Great job. We have about 15 more seconds. You can squeeze your glutes at the top if you want. We want to make sure our range of motion isn't too high. Making sure we're keeping our knees safe, our knees aren't going over our feet. About 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. So the next thing, this is our last stretching action. We're going to do some leg swings. So these are really good for your abductor and adductors again. If you want to hold on to something, you can. It's more of a balance thing, so you don't have to. But we want to go all the way across and all the way back. We'll do this for about 15 more seconds. It helps if you pick a spot on the floor to look at. We're focusing on our breathing, still learning to balance. Great job so far. 5 more seconds and we'll switch sides. 3, 2, and 1. All right, and we're going to do the other side. And then after this, we'll move into some calf raises. And we'll finish up with some jumping jacks. All right, 15 seconds, you guys. You're looking awesome. I know that balance can be tricky, but it's a great thing to focus on. All right, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So our last little strength exercise are our calf raises. So you can do them on flat surface and just go up on your toes and back down. Or you can choose an elevated surface like this mat and then go up and down just to increase further range of motion and give you a little more intense exercise. We'll do this for about 20 more seconds. It's nice to put your hands on your hips. You guys look great so far. All right, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do, just about 30 seconds of some jumping jacks. So we go up and out. A nice way to get our heart pumping right before we start. I know these are a little high impact, so we can also do step outs instead, keep our knees protected, not have as much pressure on them. All right, I have about 15 seconds left, and then we're all warmed up. You guys look great so far. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And that's our workout. Great job today.